In this final section, we will explore lone wolf terrorists, the psychosocial context of terrorism, and additional motives and justifications behind terrorist acts. While previous sections have examined efforts to categorize terrorists and terrorist groups based on their motives, it is important to recognize that no single motive universally explains engagement in terrorism. Let's take a closer look at the lone wolf terrorist, an individual threat to which the United States remains particularly vulnerable. A lone wolf terrorist operates independently or, in rare cases, with one or two others. They may or may not align with the goals of an established terrorist organization. Your text highlights two examples: the Boston Marathon bombers and the Fort Hood shooter. Key characteristics of lone wolf terrorists are listed in Table 11.1. 1. They operate individually. 2. They are not part of an organized terrorist group or network. 3. They act without direct leadership or hierarchical influence. 4. They may claim to represent an interest group. 5. Their attacks are premeditated and carefully planned. 6. They are more likely to have emotional disturbances than other terrorists. 7. They often struggle with interpersonal and social skills. The psychosocial context refers to the social and psychological conditions that foster terrorist behavior. Your text identifies several cultural characteristics that contribute to the rise of terrorist groups. 1. Cultural devaluation. This occurs when one group is scapegoated or labeled as an ideological enemy. The targeted group may be stereotyped as lazy, unintelligent, manipulative, or morally corrupt, or as a threat to society. 2. Perceptions of inequality, deprivation, and injustice. Disadvantaged or marginalized individuals may turn to terrorist groups not only to meet basic needs but also to find identity and community. 3. Strong respect for authority. Many terrorist organizations have rigid hierarchies, often led by charismatic figures portrayed as all-powerful and highly persuasive. Cognitive restructuring is a psychological process that enables individuals to justify harmful actions. It typically involves moral justification, convincing oneself that harmful acts serve a greater good. Euphemistic language, using softened terms to disguise violence, such as waste, instead of kill, or collateral damage, for civilian casualties. Advantageous comparison, believing one's values and way of life are superior to those of the perceived enemy. Psychologist Albert Bandura introduced the concept of moral disengagement, which explains how individuals justify unethical behavior by overriding their own moral standards. This process includes dehumanization, stripping victims of their identity, treating them as objects, or inflicting excessive physical harm. Displacement of responsibility, claiming they were simply following orders from a higher authority, also known as obedience to authority. De-individuation, feeling anonymous within a group, often due to disguises or collective actions, which reduces personal accountability. Once again, Professor Reese emphasizes that this video is not a substitute for your reading material but is designed to complement it and enhance understanding.